Ladies and gentlemen, Bithi Masha is here with us. A very good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, guys.
Fantastic.
Thank you for having me.
Now, a lot of people, of course, when they hear Bithi, they know music, just a band. But you're also a DJ.
Yeah, although that one, mainly because of just a band itself, we used to throw parties where we had to DJ. Although nowadays I just DJ for my friends. That's house parties. Because they're the only ones who can tolerate my choice in music.
And what is your choice in music?
It depends on how ratchet I'm feeling on the day.
How ratchet even?
It can go from some, like some chill kind of bunga man to some Migos. You never know.
Right.
Yeah, no, but the DJing side is just for fun. Yeah.
But of course, the DJ side also reveals the creative side of you, and which shall be showcased in this particular movie. Kati Kati.
Yes.
Finally, in Kenya. It has been launched across the world.
Yeah, it has screened at a few festivals around the world. Wow, it feels strange saying that.
It does, isn't it?
But this is now the official Kenyan premiere. It is now at home.
That's excellent. Some of the places where it's premiered already, just so we can tell how many stamps you've got on your passport.
Yeah, well, so we had the world premiere at Toronto Film Festival, where we were very, very fortunate to win a critics' prize in our category, which is the new directors category. Out of 26 films, ours won a critics' prize, which is like blew our minds.
Yeah.
It's also screened at the AFI American Film Institute Festival in LA, Palm Springs in California, crossing the sea in Europe. We had screenings in Germany. That was more of a cinema tour because it's a German co-production. But then in festivals in the UK, in England, Scotland, Sweden, Switzerland, and there's another one. I forgot it. Sorry.
Around the world, basically.
and in Goa. Is that correct?
Yes, in Goa. Yes,
in
indeed.
Goa in India.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a story that
Don't ruin it.
You can't put it in words. You can't put it. I'm trying not to
don't ruin it.
Just
Okay, description
a small
without ruining
plot.
how it goes.
yeah.
Okay, there's a lady who wakes up in the middle of nowhere with no memories of who she is or how she got there. And the only thing for miles around is a lodge. And when she walks in there, she meets some people who reveal to her that she's dead. And then the movie starts. Tin, tin, tin.
Oh my goodness, that's like so intense.
I think.
Do you mean that she's dead? Okay, don't tell me the
Yeah,
answer to that
yeah,
question, because you see
you know.
that's the reason why we've got to go watch it at the premiere. But how long has it been in the making?
Wow. Okay, so the film is part of an initiative called One Fine Day Films, which is the One Fine Day Film Workshop, which is a co-production between One Fine Day Films and Ginger Inc. They had produced Nairobi Half-Life, Soul Boy, Veve, Something Necessary. And this is the fifth production in that initiative. So I got a call from the executive producer, Sarika Lakani, 2 years ago. And she asked if I would be interested in making something with them. Although this project was kind of special because it didn't have, it had many restrictions, budgetary and otherwise. So we had to shoot in one location. We had very little time to get it done as compared to the others slightly, so it just came together really quickly in those 2 years, although it's been out now for 6 months.
For a lot of directors out there listening in, it's very difficult to be the person who's directing, but also being the person who wrote it. How did that work out? Because it becomes a passion.
Yeah. So I co-wrote it with a very talented Mugambi Ndiga, and he was invaluable in just how we put the story together, because as I said, we had very little time, so we had to really push through the story quickly. I don't know, for me, I feel like when you're writing your own project that you want to direct, for those who might be curious, it has to be really something that you're passionate about. Otherwise, you will have nothing to say and you'll just quit along the way. So this story was very personal to me and to Mugash, so that's why it was easier for me to just sail through from writing through all the way.
And had you directed before?
This is my first feature. I had just done the music videos, a short film or two, and some video art exhibitions.
Now, talking all things Kati Kati, just before you came in, and hashtag NBO Film Fest. We've got a pair of tickets to the launch. When is it launching? Where?
tomorrow at the Prestige Plaza at 6 o'clock is going to be our grand opening of the festival. And it's also going to be the premiere of Mbithi's fantastic movie, Kati Kati.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love saying this is an all Kenyan crew, all Kenyan cast. Produced not so much, but still, we are getting there. Now,
Step by step.
Step by step, we're getting there.
Yeah.
Just, tell us about Nairobi Film Festival.
So the Nairobi Film Festival, this is the first edition, and we've got like a full selection of Kenyan films, exclusively Kenyan films for this first edition, because we thought it would be a great way to kick off something that's like supposed to belong to us and by us and about us, and so we've really rooted it in like Kenyan filmmaking. People don't believe that we have a proper filmmaking industry, but we made a lot of good films.
Indeed.
We've made a lot of bad films also, but that's part of learning.
It is,
Yes.
definitely is. And
So-
we're not only talking about movies that came in recently, we're not talking about the Nairobi Half-Lives only, we're stretching back to
Yeah.
2009.
Yeah, we actually have a film. It was actually 1994.
Is that your earliest one?
Yeah, that's the earliest one, The Battle of the Sacred Tree.
Wow.
Yeah, it was made by Wanjiro Kinyanjui, and it's a delightful, like, return into the 80s and just to be like, hey, tumetoka mbali lakini.
And yes.
But also incredible to see what they were able to do, and the actors, and sort of revisiting like careers that have now spanned like, you know, a couple of decades, you know, and that are really compelling as well, and compelling storytelling. You know, it's like a snapshot in time from a period when a snapshot in time. It's like a time capsule pretty much. And yeah,
As we're beginning, we're just centering on Kenyan films, or we're adopting from Tanzania as they do us, or it's just centered on Kenya?
For the first edition, only Kenyan films. So this is a complete immersion into the Kenya filmmaking world. And a sort of a journey through time. What have we done, basically? Since we didn't do Kenya at 50 films. This is a post 51, yeah? And
which counts. You can round it off.
you can round up. Yeah, we can work with this for a couple of years, right? So, and then in the next editions, we will then start to broaden the reach of the films that we include in the festival, because one of our main things is to bring films to Nairobi and to the screens, especially films that would not traditionally be in sort of commercial distribution, but that are a compelling like part of, you know, what we need to be feeding our minds and our spirits so that we can grow in a healthy way.
Indeed.
We're now at the point where we can do film festivals, which means that we've got quite a collection of films. Favorite one?
You can't say Kati Kati.
I can't say Kati. It's not out yet, so it doesn't count.
So
So it
because
doesn't
I
count
haven't
because
seen it.
you've
Yes.
got to pretend you haven't seen
Tell me.
it. No, put your hand down.
Gosh, you're putting me in front of like all my children and telling me to choose.
Choose your favorite one.
I've got
Okay,
deep
well, here's the
relationships
thing.
with
Okay,
filmmakers.
so favorite scene
Favorite scene.
out of a movie.
Well, I'm gonna kind of narrow into Pumzi, which I think had made an incredible impact on me. Like, because I think Wanori has been really bold and sort of heading in a totally different direction. And I really like science fiction. And I love when a sci-fi director manages to have like, to keep their world consistent. Like I hate it when the edges of the sci-fi movie starts to fray and you're like, technically, that doesn't work into your entire world, right? And so, so I love Pumzi because I think it just creates such a 360 environment that is totally believable, and then it's located in Africa because sci-fi always seems to be happening somewhere else, you know.
Yeah.
And this was really a compelling and surprising thing for me as well. The short films, I mean, the feature films are fantastic, right? And they're easy to love, but the short films are a special treat for me. I really love them.
One of my favorite scenes, I think, is actually from Nairobi Half-Life itself. It's when the character, it's Moss, yeah? The lead character is, they were stealing headlights and stuff at night, and then he starts pushing him Kokoteni, and then cops show up, guys duck, and then he's over there singing some gospel music.
Chasing,
just,
making money,
Yeah.
chasing.
yeah. And he's like, pushing them Kokoteni, and cops are like, this guy's just crazy. That time, yeah, but I like that scene.
Awesome. Dangerous Affairs is showing as well.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I went to,
yes.
when I was at Dangerous Affairs in Washera.
That one is a highlight, and they're all going to be there. Nini, everyone's going to be there.
Yeah.
It's going to be a nice throwback to, because it was one of the first films that was really
Indeed.
big.
Indeed.
It didn't go to the cinemas; it went straight to home video. That is when there was a time.
Yeah.
There was a
Yes.
time it was home
Of
video.
taps.
VCD.
Taps.
Of tips.
Yes.
Of
Be
cassette.
kind, please rewind.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, indeed.
And Dangerous Affair is on the 4th of February at the Elephant at 7 p.m. and that's going to be up like with all the directors, the cast, just
It's more like a
reminiscing.
film party with a
Yeah.
film. So the schedule is on our website, which is nbofilmfest.com. And that'll have all the schedule information and all the ticketing information. Of course, our Facebook page, which is being really manically updated with so many things, but it's on there as well. You can get a schedule from there that you can print out. And those are the two places you can get all the detailed information. So
And
on our
Twitter.
website, yes, and our Twitter. So nbofilmfest.com.
Greatest inspiration.
Greatest. Whoa. I guess if I was to say for film, it would be Francis Ford Coppola. I know it sounds like strange. He's the guy. He made The Godfather and the rest. And the main reason for that is more of his work ethic. The dude worked hard, man. Guys who never slept. I liked such guys.
We're still having challenges living off acting. For a movie like this that's being launched, it's a big movie. Still, the actors have to find something else to fall back on or something to do to make ends meet.
Yeah.
What do we have to do to change that?
So we're just trying to make it all make sense. Right now, it's kind of the Wild West of it. We're just cutting through the bushes, just trying to make a path, and then we'll kind of, hopefully, the problem is the business end of it, especially for film, hasn't made sense yet in terms of revenues from ticket sales and everything after a movie's done. It's still pretty much unknown territory. We've gotten very good at making movies. The technical proficiency in Kenya is insane. That's why since big international things like Sense8 are shot here, they don't struggle with the crew or the actors or anything. They love how proactive Kenyans are. But the problem is we're just trying to figure out the business end of it at the tail end. And hopefully that will be sorted soon.
Shiva, is the government helping?
Well,
Pause. That was not a laugh. Shiva was coughing.
I'm sorry, I had something in my
She
throat.
had something in her throat.
I mean,
Party
like,
political?
look, I think there's a lot of goodwill in some departments of the government. Let me say that. I think there's been efforts with, these bills that are being, put out there to, zero rate taxes to make it a more friendly environment. But that kind of is targeted at international filmmaking, which will boost local filmmaking as well. But I think that there could be a lot more in terms of putting resources into the film and television production sector and making a more friendly environment. And I think the important thing is also to not make it a more hostile environment. And I think that some of the politics we've seen around the classification of films is making it a harder environment for filmmakers to work on. And I'm not shy to say that. I don't think that is actually helping the space in any way whatsoever.
Another thing that discourages me is the culture of, as Kenyans, we're still jumping to Nigeria, still have a lot of influx from South Africa. How do we change this culture and appreciate our own? How do we change our culture to appreciate Kati Kati?
I mean, I think that what BT talked about earlier was actually a very important part of how a sector like you see in Nigeria or the US or wherever, they've worked out the business model that drives that thing. So the people who have made the art have figured out together with the business people how to make it something that the market wants. Right, and I'm sounding like a good old capitalist here, right? But and because of that, that means people are not shy about investing into those projects because they know that there is the chance of making big revenues, and it's exciting, So that's the mark of a good business venture right there. And the more that we're able to do that, kind of figure out what is the pathway to profitability for some of these films, how does it get sold, how does it get connected with the market, the better the deals on the going in end, the less people have to tell you zero budget at the going in part. But at the same time, zero budget has to be a real part of a thing that's coming up. I mean, our festival, for instance, is being driven by volunteers, and by people coming on board and helping us do very critical tasks because we just have to start. We can't wait until somebody gives us the budget to do it. We're just like, we know what to do, we know how to do it, and we know the people who can make it happen. Sometimes you just got to get in there and just start.
But Mama J lands in Kenya, the whole town stops. Peter King walks in town, we don't recognize him. Nyokabi walks up the lift, we're not even appreciating her. How do we present to Kenyans and make them see that these are own and how we celebrate them?
not being part of this industry in the sense that I am not an actor, producer, director. The only part of this industry that I am is a keen watcher of said movies and things. I think I love what you said, Shiva. We've got to start somewhere, and we've got to keep producing, but also we've got to make it make sense. And I know that, you know, as an actor, you're thinking, come on, love me now. I've done amazing, incredible things. And you have. I mean, you all have in your right. But for the rest of us, we love you. Just allow us to love you as we do. And one of the best ways we can love you is to buy tickets to come to the movie. So,
Yes, she said it.
if you could let us know how, we can love you with like some money.
Yes, we love
some
people who
bumps.
love us like that.
In that direction because
Yeah, I can see that you're just getting upset.
Distribution is something else because in Nairobi we have the gift of actually saying you go to Prestige and watch the film. What about Mombasa? What about Kisumu? Will they be able to watch Kati Kati anytime soon?
Yes, Kati Kati is going to be at the coast. It's actually premiering countrywide, generally speaking, on Friday. So from Friday, you can catch it at most major cinemas, including in Kisumu. It's going to be there as well, from Friday the 27th. At normal ticket prices, just check your press for timings and all of that. And then on 2 weeks from now, we will have a small event at the coast as well. But the film is going wide.
But if you are in Nairobi and you're listening in today, or you would like to, you're coming in, or you fancy going out to a movie, where is it showing and how can we get tickets?
Right, yeah. So from Friday, so tomorrow we have our premiere event, which is almost, so we put out a few tickets for sale. You can still grab some if you would like. Otherwise, from Friday, it'll be at all the Planet Media cinemas, which are Prestige, Westgate,
And all the rest of the cinemas
and all
as
the
well,
rest.
like at Sarit as well,
Yes.
and
Garden City. It'll be everywhere.
Anga. So widely released. The way Batman comes, boom, Kati Kati has come. Killer Mahali. Yeah. So it will be there from on a normal film schedule, the all through the day, and you'll be able to grab tickets just at the normal rate and just see it like a normal movie, not like a special experience, different category Kenyan.
Except
thing.
it is
Except it
a
is.
special movie. I mean, anything that opens with a woman getting up in an empty field only to find out that she's dead.
Yeah.
Cue the heart rate.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
directed by Mbithi Masia, written by Mbithi Masia and Mugambe Nthiga, cinematography by Andre Drew Mungai, edited by
My wife. Okay, your wife, really, not mine.
Louisa Wanjiku.
Right, okay, very quickly, because
Yes.
we're over the top of the hour, but we always end our shows with the same thing. What are you grateful for today? Sheba.
Oh my gosh, my cup overfloweth. I am so grateful for everybody that just jumped on board when we said we were going to do this and who continue to, like the different companies who've said to us, do you think that we could engage with you in this way? And the different people that honestly, we don't have enough time.
bless.
I am, if you start something that you really passionately believe in, it is incredible. And that is my testimony that people will get on board with it. Aki actors, it's true.
Oh,
One day. We will
Masia?
organize all of us. Anyway.
gratitude. What are you grateful for?
Hashtag blessed for hashtag everything. Yeah. I'm not as eloquent as Sheba. But life. Thanks.
I'm so sad I wasn't part of Kati Kati, but the next one, my friend, I'm in there.
In.
I'll be that guy, the tree,
Yeah?
the
Me, I'm the tea lady.
Yeah.
Me, I'm the tea lady. I'm very good at carrying tea. I've got skills.
When they're living here, they're living with my CV. Thank you very much. And that brings
and
us
a
to the
photo of me.